So to all the people of South Korea, I just want to apologize for what I've done, and I really did not mean to hurt your guys' pride this much. You guys are a good people, you guys are a great people, and for the most part, other than Mr. Navy SEAL here, I've had a great experience with a lot of the South Korean people, and it was not my intention to really hurt you guys, and I hope you guys can accept my apology. And I'm a young person, I want to grow as a man. I made a mistake, and I think when you make a mistake in life, you need to own up to it.
American streamer Johnny Somali, whose real name is Ramsey Khalid Ismael, is facing up to 22 years in prison in South Korea after engaging in a number of outrageous acts and live streaming them to document it all. From what it sounds like, he basically went to Korea to wreak a bunch of havoc on the locals for clicks, and now he's apparently finding out what happens when you do that overseas. Looking at his history, it looks like this is his MO. He's done this kind of thing before and reportedly was banned as a result from both Japan and Jerusalem, if not the entire country of Israel. And now his passport is being held by the Korean authorities while this scumbag awaits trial on a number of charges. So let's talk about it. If you're new here, my name is Alita. I'm a lawyer licensed in California and DC. And if you like talking about the law and when people, often stupid people, get into trouble with it, you're in the right place and you might want to consider subscribing for more content. Okay, so who is this guy, Johnny Somali? It doesn't take much digging to find out that he is basically a walking garbage can. He's an American streamer on YouTube and Rumble. He's apparently been kicked off of Kick and Twitch, whose content is basically to go around harassing people and intentionally offending other cultures because, I don't know, I guess he's just rotten to the core and that's how he gets his kick. One of the things he's apparently known for is his antics in Japan, where he was jailed and fined for his behavior in an Osaka restaurant, which he, of course, broadcast. As part of this stint, this guy apparently also harassed locals about the World War II atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, loudly threatening to bomb the country, among other things. He also engaged in seemingly intentionally offensive behavior in Israel as well. There, he reportedly printed out photos of Harvey Weinstein and Jeffrey Epstein, two men known for horrific sex crimes against young women, and pinned them to the Western Wall, a Jewish shrine. He then also apparently sexually harassed a female police officer while taking part of an anti-government protest in Tel Aviv. As a result of this, he was reportedly banned from both Japan and the city of Jerusalem. And now it looks like he's been up to the same shenanigans in South Korea. But before we go any further, I have to thank this video's sponsor. This video is sponsored by Grammarly. Grammarly is an AI writing partner that helps you connect with others by being more precise and effective in your communication. It's an app that allows you to modify your writing across platforms to help improve your writing in real time. And really what makes it stand out is that it works where you work. That includes browser extensions, desktop editors, and mobile keyboard apps. Now, you might know Grammarly for their spelling and grammar, but they actually go way beyond that. For example, you can use their generative AI to help you brainstorm any subject, email drafts, video topics, or even plans for your next vacation. For example, I decided to test it out to see how it could help me script for an ad mention to promote Grammarly. And here's what Grammarly suggested. Unlock your writing potential with Grammarly's AI tools. Hey everyone, want to take your emails, essays, and social media posts to the next level? Look no further. Grammarly's awesome AI tools are here to help. With features that boost your writing style, clarity, and tone, you'll be able to share your ideas confidently. Join all the others who have already discovered the magic of Grammarly's tools to up their writing game. Don't let unclear messages or awkward wording hold you back. Grab the reins of your writing journey today. Elevate your writing with Grammarly's smart tools. Check out the link in the description for a special offer and start writing like a pro. Hey, that's actually not so bad. Anyway, there's a free version, a pro version, and a business version for teams. And even the free version has a lot of tools that can be super helpful to improve your writing. If you want your writing to be more concise, friendly, or professional, Grammarly can help you do that with generative AI suggestions. For example, here's where I tested this function out with the hypothetical ad script I mentioned earlier. So if you want to level up your writing with an awesome writing partner right at your fingertips, be sure to check out the link in the description below. And thanks again to Grammarly for sponsoring this video. Okay, so let's talk about what Johnny Somali did in South Korea and the legal fallout that's resulted. Johnny Somali was apparently on a tear in Seoul, South Korea recently. He made headlines when he filmed himself kissing a statue of a young girl to begin with. Now, this statue represents a dark and painful period in Korean history. It commemorates a time during World War II when Korean women were used as what are euphemistically called comfort women, essentially human trafficking by Japanese soldiers. It's a very painful subject for the Koreans, and it's very uncomfortable for the Japanese. And both of them, by the way, are friends of the United States in a region where things are starting to look a little bit tricky. Now, look, this isn't a channel that talks about American foreign policy. I'm an American lawyer, and I am nowhere near a foreign policy expert. So there's no way I can get into any of the intricacies of the things that are going on in this region. But when Americans do stupid things overseas, they can also end up making things even worse for themselves because of the things that are happening on a more global scale. But aside from that, Americans also need to understand that when they go overseas, American laws don't travel with you. We enjoy a very robust set of rights in the US that much of the world does not have, to include our precious First Amendment. And also, you want your Miranda rights during an arrest? That's an American protection that exists because of American courts interpreting the US Constitution. You can't bank on that existing anywhere else. And so here, Johnny Somali is now facing apparently 22 years in prison for his other antics on top of that. And because of the whole comfort woman statue incident, it looks like even members of parliament are looking for ways to make an example of this idiot. And because he's such a genius, he's documented a number of acts that are apparently crimes in South Korea, so proving these incidents is likely to be pretty easy. For example, he's apparently been charged for use of narcotics, which means he can reportedly get up to 10 years in prison. He's also been charged for obstruction of business, which means he faces up to 5 years for this behavior.
You like a Jack Frost with a zesty Edgar. Get your ass on. We like Victor from Despicable Me using the upside down. What are you talking about? When you got a urine stain, you shut up. You might take piss out of your nipple. Get your
Sorry, I'm black. I'm not gonna drink nothing.
여기서 드시면 안 돼요.
I don't drink. Here, no drink. No. Look here. 이거. I eat the ramen.
그리고
아줌마, I go. Okay, I shut up. I'm gonna eat the ramen.
Right to say you should never have kids. Your father was right. Your father was right.
The fuck? What are you talking about?
안 된다고요. 소주 안 된다고.
Shut up, bitch.
폴리스?
Call the police, stupid ass bitch.
폴리스 불러요, 형님.
Stupid ass. I didn't even drink here. Are you dumb? Are you talking to me, you stupid ass, bald ass bitch? You monkey asshole. Shut up, bitch. I did not drink it, you stupid bitch. Fuck you. Fuck you, Chinese ass bitch. Fuck you.
On top of that, apparently he did a collaboration with a Korean female streamer. Around this time, it looks like he created and showed to his viewers a deepfake of him kissing her. She initially reported this to the police under their law prohibiting the creation, distribution, and even viewing of sexually explicit deepfakes. But then apparently she had a change of heart, and we really don't know why. But some have speculated that it might have to do with some potentially racially offensive things that she said about him on their live stream together. However, it sounds like the police might be pursuing this charge on their own anyway. And in that case, this would mean up to another 7 years in prison and a fine of 30 million won, which translates to about $22,000. In the meantime, Johnny Somali's passport has been confiscated by Korean authorities until he's put on trial and, if convicted, serves a prison sentence. So they could be holding on to that passport for a very long time. Okay, so what kind of trouble is he in with all of this? Potentially a lot, actually. This is a very serious situation. If Korean police choose to pursue all of these charges through trial, Johnny Somali could end up spending decades in a Korean prison. But wait, what about the fact that he's an American citizen? There's obviously an American embassy in Korea, so what kind of protections can they give him here? Honestly, not much. Like I said before, when you travel, you don't get to pack American laws in your luggage with you. And the US Embassy isn't able to just spring you out or somehow represent you legally or pay for your legal expenses. In fact, depending on the circumstances, your situation could arise into an international incident that then becomes nothing but a headache for the embassy that interferes in their ability to engage in peaceful and effective operation of American foreign policy, which means they might not be terribly happy with you either. So what can the US Embassy do in a situation like this? Well, here's a list of things from the State Department's website that they actually can do. They can do things like provide a list of local attorneys who speak English. They can contact your family, friends, or employers with your written permission. They can visit you in prison to give you reading materials and vitamin supplements. They can ensure that you're getting any necessary medical care. They can give you an overview of the local criminal justice process and ensure that you get clergy visits from a religion of your choice, and also establish a trust so that friends and family can transfer money to you while you are imprisoned. Now, while these things may bring some comfort to people who are imprisoned overseas, you'll notice that none of this amounts to any sort of golden ticket or get out of jail free card. And that's because there's only so much that the US government can do when you go to another country and allegedly violate their laws. In short, being an American doesn't make you immune to other countries' laws when you choose to make stupid decisions on their soil. And trying to justify them publicly by saying you're an American and Americans just have a different type of sense of humor is also very, very lame.
Truly, it's a hurtful thing. It's something that hurts the Korean pride and the Korean culture. In America, we have a different kind of comedy, and we have a different kind of culture in America. And Korea, it's a totally different kind of place where this kind of behavior is not acceptable.
Look, maybe this is just something that I personally feel more strongly about because I've been living overseas for the last 4 years. And maybe as a result, I've developed a bit of a sensitivity to the ugly American stereotype. But when Johnny Somali essentially says Americans would find his behavior with the Comfort Woman statue funny or even remotely okay, it grosses me out. Every country in the world has something in their history that represents a line you simply don't cross. It could be something where those people were victimized, or it could be from a time where they themselves are the aggressors and have had to apologize for it since. The United States is no exception. We have a number of points of national sensitivity that could easily be pointed to. Imagine, for example, someone going to Ground Zero and making a total mockery of the victims of 9/11. People would be upset, and justifiably so. If Johnny Somali chose to do some of the things he did in Korea, Japan, and Israel, but in the context of the World Trade Center, he could very well have found himself assaulted by fellow Americans too. And as for the other shenanigans he engaged in, he could also see legal troubles in American courts if he had done this in the United States. Most notable is the deepfake video. Although we don't have federal legislation on deepfakes at the time I'm recording this video, a number of states have enacted legislation to regulate them. These are all new laws, so how much they've been tested in American courts for things like possibly infringing the First Amendment is unclear. But it is notable that a good portion of these laws are aimed at prohibiting deepfakes of people engaging in sexual conduct. And in cases where laws like that have been challenged in the past, that kind of legislation tends to stay in place even in the face of a First Amendment argument. And as AI continues to develop at a crazy fast pace, I would expect states and maybe even the US Congress to eventually catch up on some of the ways people are harming other people with deepfake. But even before any of that happens, in the US, the person doing what Johnny Somali did could very well face a civil lawsuit from the other person anyway. I'm talking about claims for defamation and a person's right of publicity. You probably are familiar with defamation. It's where a defendant makes a statement about another person that isn't true, and where that defendant had some level of intent to make the false statement. The level of intent that's required in order for the plaintiff to win depends on whether the plaintiff is a public figure or a private citizen. Right of publicity, on the other hand, is your right to use your likeness for what you want, whether that's for a profit or not. This includes your name, your face, your body, and your voice. In the past, it used to be that really only celebrities and other public figures had a right of publicity, since they were the only ones who really could profit from their likeness through things like sponsorships and commercials and whatnot. But as the internet, and with its social media in particular, has opened up the world for the everyday person, so has protection under the right of publicity. So now, if someone steals your voice or your face or your name or anything else that is identifiably and uniquely you and uses it for some purpose that you never consented to, that's potentially an actionable claim for right of publicity. So how much trouble is Johnny Somali in here? Personally, I think he obviously hasn't learned his lesson after the incidents in Japan and Israel when he really should have. Korea is a different country though, and they may very well make an example of him where Japan and Israel did not. In which case, the law of FAFO is clearly at play.
See, as you can see, the more you around, the more you're going to find out.
But those are my thoughts. What do you think? Was his apology sincere, or should he get the book thrown at him and spend some good time in a Korean prison? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this or at least found it interesting or informative. And if you did, I would love it if you could hit the like button. It does help us with the YouTube algorithm gods. And if you're new here and you want to see more coverage of crazy cases and interesting legal topics, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can find out when the next video is uploaded. And if you're really loving the content and you want to know how to best support the channel and get perks like early access to videos like this one, consider becoming a member of Byte Club. You can join either through YouTube memberships or by supporting on Patreon. Links are in the description below. See you in the next one.